Hello, and welcome to Play to the Whistle, episode 47. Joining myself, Jesse and Thea. How you doing?
Yeah, good man. Brilliant result. It's coming home.
Yeah,
All of that
man.
stuff, man. What you saying? You good?
All of that. Yeah, man, I'm consistent, man. I said it before the tournament started, you get me? And yeah, but we'll get on to that anyway. Um, yeah, man, it was a good result, good performance, and it's looking bright. Obviously, got a big test ahead of us again, but yeah, man, what was your thoughts on that game?
On the England game.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, the England game. Do you know what? I think we've got to give Southgate some praise, man. I think he deserves it. I think he obviously before the game, before
definitely.
the tournament, including myself, I was giving him a lot of stick, a lot of flack, but he's come out and he's proven that he's getting all the tactics right for every game that we've played so far. And when you
Yeah,
can afford to leave off like Phil Foden, not bring on Jack Grealish, and still win, and let's have it right as well. We should have beat Ukraine 4-0. That's not even the point. The point is that although we beat them 4-0, it's the way that we beat them that I was impressed with. Like the way that we were just in control. We could slow down the game when we wanted to. We could go in attack when we wanted to. It was Luke Shaw flipping out like no words for him, man. He was having a tournament of his life. Obviously, he missed the World Cup, didn't he, through injury? But
Luke Shaw,
yeah,
man,
he's having the tournament.
Luke Shaw, aka
Go on.
Clark Kent, man, aka Clark Kent. Boy, right, he jumped in the phone. Listen, he's jumped in the phone booth this season and come out with the Superman suit, man. Because
Yeah, it's
he's
true,
playing
man.
like he's
As a,
playing like the 18-year-old Super Luke, man. Cool Luke, you get me?
but you know what? I was impressed with Jaden Sancho because I think obviously he hasn't played that much game time in the Euros. I think he came on for one of the games, one of the group games, like 10 minutes or something like that. But to come on and then play the way that he played, obviously we know he's got that in him. It's not like he's, do you know what I mean? But just in terms of being able to play with that much confidence as well. Like he's obviously a confident player or person, whatever. But just to fit into the team the way that he did was brilliant to see as well. Obviously, Harry Kane, I thought was that's what we need Harry Kane to do. Not sitting back, dropping back in midfield. And
On
I
the
know he's got to
shoulder.
do that. Yeah, it's just he was where he needed to be at all times. And when the first goal went in, you knew it was going to be a 3 or 4-0 because just Ukraine didn't really look up for it as well. So I know I'm biased because I literally, you know what I mean. But in terms of the result, I can't fault anyone that was on that pitch at all. Not one person.
Yeah, I echo everything what you just said, bro. Like I was. No, listen. Do you know what it was? It's what you want in a game, innit? Like in a big game, you want to score early, and we got the early goal. Great ball by Sterling. Great run by Harry Kane. You know what? Maybe it's just how we're used to VAR now, where we second guess ourselves. When he played the ball, I just had a feeling in my
I didn't celebrate,
like,
you know.
yeah, I didn't, man, and it's sad because VAR has made me second guess myself. I thought it was a good ball straight away, but I was thinking, oh, I don't
It
know.
looked
I need to
offside a
wait for
little bit.
VAR. No, I don't think it did, but we just because it looked tight, we just second guess ourselves because of VAR.
Mm.
But obviously, showed the VAR way onside, good finish, and it just you knew from that, man, that we was gonna do well in that game because I think that's the one thing you want in a game like that is to get the early goal, and that team has to come out because they wanted to just not part the bus, but they want to get everyone behind the ball, be compact, and try and hit us on the break and then stay in that shape. But once you get an early goal like that, they've got to come out and play, which they tried to. But I think we was comfortable most of our work. Defensively was comfortable. And then, yeah, I think I agree with what you said as well. I think we turned it on whenever we needed to, man. We was moving the ball well. It's just, switching like from side to side. And yeah, we looked a threat, man. Like we looked a threat every opportunity. We could have a few more goals. And yeah, I'm just happy for the result, man. Good result away from home as well. for once, and I know we're back at Wembley. But yeah, great result, man. I thought
What do you think?
Sancho did well. Sorry.
I was just gonna say. I was gonna ask you, but I'll let you finish. I'll ask you afterwards.
Yeah, I thought Sancho came into the game. I thought he had a quiet start, but I think that's kind of expected. When you've had the lack of minutes that he's had, I think there'll be a lot of nerves, and you know,
Mm.
you haven't been playing with these guys. I know he plays with them in training, but there'll be a certain match rhythm that you're not used to yet, and in that type of game to be thrown in, you'd have to ease yourself into the game, which I think he did, and then he showed flashes and parts of the game that he played really well in, man.
Mm. Yeah, I was gonna ask you because obviously Wednesday, massive game now against Denmark. But just in terms of the team selection, would you change it in terms of going back to that kind of back five, or would you keep it as a back four and then have the same sort of four, the three, and then the three up front as well?
I have to be totally honest, yeah. I'll be deadly serious when I say this as well now, yeah. I don't care. And I don't even mean that, yeah, to no, do you know what it is? I don't want to make that sound like I don't care what the starting lineup is, because I do. But at the same
No,
time,
I
it's
know what you
like
mean. I know what you mean, though.
we've second guessed every single formation, starting lineup. We've been wrong every single time. And it's like I don't know what
Mm.
his thinking is when he does certain selections, but I'm not the gaffer, and it's worked, and we ain't conceded a goal.
Mm.
We scored, we scored a good amount of goals. We've got different goal scorers, like
Still not conceded.
still, yeah. And then even the fact of different goal scorers is a good thing too, because that means like you're not just relying on Sterling, not just relying on Kane. Other people are now chipping in with a few goals,
Mm.
and different assists as well. Shaw's got quite a few assists. Grealish has got a couple.
Mm.
Sterling's got one now. Like they're coming from all angles now, and yeah, like he's used the whole squad apart from I think Cody and the two goalkeepers now, and
Code.
Chilwell. I think he's not used
Yeah.
Chilwell, has he? But he's used the rest of them. So there's
I thought he
and
came
then
on as a sub.
Saka. Yeah, I might be wrong. He might have, but
Yeah.
he's used the whole squad. Everyone's actually come in and they've done well when they have played. Henderson came back, got a goal, good free header. Maguire was brilliant. Mings is coming.
Mm.
Like I don't know what he's gonna do. I'm up for it. I'm ready for it, and I just want to win. But second guessing the lineup now, I'm
It's
done
coming
with it.
home, isn't
I'm
it?
I'm retired. I'm guessing the lineup. I'm not critiquing it. I'm a fan. I'm kind of slightly petrified. I'm a bit nervous now. It's kicking in now. I ain't been nervous the whole tournament, but I
Mm.
think we're nearly there now. We're at the door, innit? We're at the door now. Do you get me? We're home now, but we're at the door,
Mm.
but we're not home. Like we're not inside, innit? So yeah,
Yeah, no,
I'm
it's
I'm
true.
done with it. I'm done with it for him, and I'm just excited now. Now, whatever he does is him in it because look, he's got to back semi-finals as well. And I think you know what? Yeah, we was
Mm.
all critical of him, me included. I have to hold my hands up. I said some mad stuff about him, but he's got it all right, and we ain't conceded a goal,
Mm.
and he's got back semi-finals. We ain't seen a semi-final since Euro '96 before he took charge. So you just got to give him his
It's
fair
true,
dues.
man.
I know people talk about the route but look, it's not our fault we
But
didn't make the
that's
draw.
you just yeah, you just play the teams that you're up against.
Yeah,
You can't even fault anyone for that. But I think in terms of I don't I don't think it matters who we play. If we play how we're playing, and it seems like Southgate's got a plan for every team that we come across. And that's even okay. We haven't played one of the bigger nations. We haven't played like a France. Obviously, they're not in it now. But in terms of like Italy, who are still in it, we haven't played them. Spain, we haven't played them in this tournament. So yeah, there's going to be bigger tests to come. But I
if
think
we
at the
make
same
it,
time as well, I think he's well equipped. Yeah, he's well equipped. I think we will. Like,
definitely,
I think
definitely,
we're going to be too much for Denmark, and that's not me being biased or whatever anyone wants to call it. I
I agree.
think we're going
I
to be
can't lie.
better than Denmark on the night. It's at Wembley as well, so that's going to be
Mhm.
a massive factor. That is going to be a massive factor, and I think the only thing that's getting Denmark through their games is the fact of what happened in their first. Not saying they're a bad team because they've got players, so I get that, but I do think that is spurring them on. They've got that team, the cohesion of that team is because of that first match. I think, but they
what I
are a good
think,
team as well. So I'm not
yeah,
dismissing them. No.
do you know what I think? Actually, I think that might. I think that was a factor in the game after when they lost to Belgium, and I think maybe in their last game. But like I look at it and think to myself, a lot of the underdog teams have just embraced their underdog tags, and they just really like played with no fear, man. I think that's a big factor as well. I think none of these teams have really they've respected the bigger nations, but they've not been like scared of them. Like, oh, we're not going to play. We're not going to try and play our game. Like all these teams. I remember that how good Austria played against Italy, how Switzerland played against France, and even against Spain.
Mm,
Like these teams have just said, like, you know what, like, no, we're not having it. We're not scared. We're just going to play in it. Like we ain't got nothing to lose. And I think that's how Denmark have been playing too. And also, you know what? You have to be honest as well with Denmark. When you look at their team and watch their games, they have got some good players. They weren't just Ericsson. Like we said on the last episode, they've got some players, man. So, and one thing I like with them, they play with mad intensity. Like everything they do is at like 100 miles an hour. And that's hard to play against if you're not on it. Because if you're not on it, they'll catch you off guard and it's hard to deal with. A bit like how Austria played. And that's what England has to be wary about. But look, these boys have been professional in every game so far. So I don't think they're going to turn up big time. I don't think they believe that it's a done deal. A lot of these boys got to the semi-finals the last time, so they're switched on. They're not going to want to fall at this hurdle again. So I think they're going to be fully focused on that game, man.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree, and I think obviously it's going to be more intense. I think for the Wednesday match because obviously we'll know out of um, out of Italy and Spain, we'll know who's obviously in the final by then because they play on. I think they play on the Tuesday night, so
Yep.
it's going to be more intense. I think watching England, knowing that obviously for me personally, I mean we'll talk about them in a minute. I think, but for me personally, I can't see Italy losing to Spain just because of how they're playing in their tournament as well. So if it is an England Italy final, boy, that is going to be a final. That is going to be a really good final.
I think that is it's mad though because I think Italy have basically played like their quarterfinal and then the semi-final have practically been the standard of. Obviously, I can't talk about the the Spain game yet, but that Belgium game was the standard of a final. Like that was a quality game of football, and that was played at a very high standard. Good football play from both sides. And that was a brilliant game to watch, man. And they've done it. If obviously we hope it comes home, but if Italy win it, you can't they've done it the hard way, really, from the teams that are left. You know what I mean? And if they do it, it'll be like they've definitely deserved it. And they've played champagne football. We have to be honest as well. Like they played champagne football, start to finish, like breathtaking stuff as well at times. Like to the point where most people are shocked. Like if you're not Italy, I know Italy fans would have watched qualification and they would have known how the team plays but a lot of people don't in it, and a lot of people have been shocked. But it's been great to watch. It's just a shame, man. The Spinazzola injury was a massive shame for them because I think, like I said it loads of times on the pod so far, I think he's easily top 3 their best players in the tournament so far. And
Yeah.
Emerson will come in though. Emerson's a very good fullback too, and he will just slot into the way that they play. And he's been a part of most of the squads in the last 2 or 3 years anyway. So he's played a lot of games in that time. So he'll be used to the way that they play. But that's going to be a brilliant game, man. Because Spain have just it's it's weird because because at times they've played some great football at times, amazing football. Then they just switch off, and you think what's wrong with these boys? Though they can't. But maybe it's a bit of lack of tournament experience. Maybe it's like European experience as well, because I think they picked a lot of boys that haven't even played like European football this season either. But it's a weird one to you can't predict a Spain result because they've made hard work of everyone.
I do think them not having. Yeah, they have, and I do think not having some of the Real Madrid players in that team which potentially could
We
have
said
helped them
this.
cover over some of those. Yeah, I think that's all that we said it was a strange decision not to do that, not to take a lot of those players. But I get you, and I agree what you're saying, because I think sometimes I watch Spain and they look like the team that can win the Euros. They look like they can smash anyone out the park. But then there's too much lapses in concentration for me
All the time.
in terms of just how they play, and I think
And he
that
does,
that will cost them against Italy a lot.
yeah, and it's weird things as well, because even if you go back before the Euros, like I know they beat Germany 6-0, didn't they, in a match like just at the end of the year. And they can get results like that, and then they drew with Croatia, then they kind of make hard work of Switzerland. And look, I'm not no disrespect to Switzerland, because they deserve to be there. They earn the right.
Mm.
They've played the football. They've gambled at times. They've they showed no fear against France, and they deserved to get to penalties as well, even in that game. But then you watch them. Then there's moments like where Pedri's on the ball, and he just looks like a 30-year-old, and in a good way. By the way,
Mm.
not to disrespect him, but and then there's Passit Ferran Torres looks like a world beater at times, and then it's not,
Mm.
then Simmons putting it in his net, and that they're just a confusing team to watch. But I think a lot of the inconsistency is like a lot of these are new, fresh blood that they're blooding into the team. And like I said
Mm.
before, I feel like this, even though it actually could end up being their tournament, I feel like
Mm.
I still think it's a tournament too early for them. And I do think, even without Spinazzola, I think Italy will have too much for them, because I just feel like they believe it now as well with Italy. They're playing great football anyway, but I feel like now they they believe that they can win this tournament now. And they've got that other thing with England, similar to what I was saying, where they've got different goal scorers as well. Like different people are pitching in with
Yeah.
goals. That helps as well, because you can turn to your bench. You know that these guys can score goals if they come on, which they have already. The guys that are starting have got goals in them as well. So they've got like goals coming from everywhere, man. And Chiellini, I thought
Yeah, I
as
think
well. I'm going to shout him out, because I know he's 37. He lacks pace, but he dealt with Lukaku calmly as well, in my opinion. And I thought he had a brilliant game, to be quite honest with you.
yeah. But I think I did feel sorry for Belgium, because obviously I feel like they've got, apart from the defense, they've got everything going about them. The midfield is half decent. It's okay. You should be able to cope with most teams. Obviously, you got someone like Lukaku up front who's in form. But for me, the only kind of out and out striker that's actually turned up at the tournament for me,
Mm.
and has played in. So I feel like for them to go out the way they did, it was, had they had a better defense, I think they would have progressed. They're not the number one ranked team in the world for nothing, but I just think that defense with like Vermaelen and Vertonghen and all these kind of like not even inexperienced, because they're very experienced, but they're just not the quality, the level that they need to go on and win major trophies, and that's what's killed them in this tournament. But I agree with you. I think when I watch Spain, there's two sides of them. There's the very shit side that we have seen in this tournament, but then there's that luxury Rolls Royce side where you kind of look at them and you think, yeah, they can go all the way. But I agree. I think Italy will be too much for them. Yeah, like I said last week,
Yeah.
they are for me still they're like the underdogs of the tournament, but we can't call them underdogs now, Italy, because
No,
they're
they're
still there.
favourites.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have
You
to
have
be
to,
now. They have
but
to be. Well, favorites is a strong word, man, because
no, I'll tell you why.
it's coming
Because
home in it. So
no, no,
let's not do
I still believe
that.
it's no, I still believe it's coming home. But I'm just saying, I'm being honest by what we've seen in the tournament. You'd have to make them favourites, because the football they've played has been ridiculous.
Yeah,
They've destroyed everyone they've played,
amazing. Mm.
and they've beat a serious team. Like you said, they're ranked number one in the world. I know we beat Germany, but Belgium would have beat Germany, if we're being honest. That
Yeah,
Germany
yeah, yeah,
team is.
yeah.
We said it before that even game, and I knew he was going to beat them.
It's dead, man.
This dead. But the thing, I agree with what you said about the defense, yeah. Because look, the thing with Chiellini and Bonucci, they're old, they're slowed down a bit. Chiellini's 37, but he's world class. I think and that's the difference. Like none of them centre backs for Belgium are world class. They probably was never world class.
No.
If we're being honest, I liked Alderweireld at a point. He was a very good centre back, but I'd never say he was world class. Same with Vertonghen. I thought he was a very good centre back, but never world class. Chiellini's world class. So even though he's old, he just does everything right, innit? He knows when to get tight. He knows when to tackle. And then even on the ball, he steps out. He's fearless. Comes into midfield. He don't waste passes either. And he's a pure leader. Like you can tell, like
Yeah,
everyone
you
is
can
way
see that.
more comfortable. Yeah, everyone's way more comfortable when he's in the team. And yeah, I think that was the difference. But I said, look, we said this before the tournament as well, that if there was there's always going to be an issue with Belgium once their centre backs get tested. And it's the same as Germany. They switch to a back three because they're not confident with the centre backs. They're not confident that the centre backs can play 1v1. That's why they've gone to the back three. And look, I know they played that at the World Cup before as well, but I think it was for the same reason. But one player I do want to shout out for Belgium. Obviously, Lukaku's had a good tournament overall, but I thought Doku, he came in for Hazard.
Yeah.
I thought he was brilliant. I thought he was actually brilliant. And, you know, he had Di Lorenzo on the ropes for a lot of that game. And, you know, he's only 19. And if Belgium can follow up with a few more players coming through of his kind of standard that he's shown in his tournament in glimpses, they'll be all right as well. They'll be all right. But look, we've seen reports today that Kevin De Bruyne was playing on his torn ligaments in his ankle. He played through that, which is nuts. I think Man City are a bit worried about that from what I was reading. But the better team won, and you know, once they got tested, that back three, they were found out.
I'd have to agree, man. I'd have to agree.
Yeah.
So, just looking at these semi-finals now, obviously you got Italy, Spain Tuesday, big one. England, Denmark Wednesday. Who are you seeing going through? Is Italy and England?
That's the talk, innit, really. That's what everyone thinks is going to happen, really, if we're being honest. But then at the same time, you can end up with a Spain-Denmark final. Do you know what I mean? Like, but because Spain's mad. It's what you said, though. They're a Rolls Royce, but then they're a Kia. Like, they could be one or the other at any given point. They could be one or the other. If they're like a magic 8 ball, they shake it up 1 minute, it's brilliant. Next minute, it's like, okay, own goal, or let's concede 2 in 2 minutes. And they're a crazy team. But and it's weird as well because he keeps making changes with the centre backs during games, which I find mad. Like
It's
I find
very
that
odd.
one mad.
It's very odd.
Yeah, to change centre backs during games, and so all of that kind of thing, it's not going to help them. Do you know what I mean? But one thing we do know about Spain is they got goals in the minute. Like we've seen that the whole tournament, they've scored quite a few goals. So that I think that's going to be final worthy, that semi-final. And literally what I said about Denmark, man. Denmark have turned up, played with passion, no fear, at a relentless pace. So they're gonna bring that to the table against us. But we should have enough for them. We should have enough for them. If I'm being totally honest, whichever team he picks, we should have enough for them. And even what you notice with what Southgate's done is another reason why I'm not too worried about his selections is he's basically kept a lot the same. So all he's changed is the front line, really, in reality. He's changed the people playing behind Kane. Rice and Phillips have played every game. Maguire's now played every game with Stones since he's come back. Shaw's played every game now since he come into the team. And obviously, oh my God, my man, what's his name in goal? Pickford. He had, do you know what's funny?
Pickford.
We was all waiting for a Pickford moment, innit? And he gave us them moments in that Ukraine game. But it didn't lead. No, because
his head went, man.
Yeah, his head went, and it always does with him, but it didn't lead to a goal in it, which we're thankful for, because he's actually had a good tournament up until that point. But yeah, we don't know who's going to pick in two positions. He's going to play Sterling, Kane. We don't know who the other two people are going to be. We know Rice and Phillips will be there. We'll know the back four is probably going to stay the same. So it's cool, man. I think we'll get the job done. And it's one of them for me. Don't care about performance. I just want more of the same, man. We had a performance against Ukraine. I just want to get in the final now.
Yeah, I think like I said, and I keep saying it on here, as long as you get 2 goals and you defend well, you're through. That's it.
Yeah,
You just got to get 2 goals, defend well, and get into the next game. Because
yeah.
I think a lot of people they want to see like a very good game. I'd love to see the way we played against Ukraine against Denmark, but that doesn't bother me. I just want to see progression into the final. Can you imagine
Mm.
on Sunday, next Sunday, if there's a final, England's in the final?
Yeah, that's all I want.
How mad the whole after everything that like
Listen,
lockdown,
one thing.
everything. It's
That's what I'm
gonna be
saying.
like the. Do you know what I mean?
We need it. I think we will need it, man. We will need that release, and we will need to have some fun and that's something to look forward to and enjoy it, man. And for me personally, I know people have been moaning style of play. I'm usually one of them people that would have something to say, especially with the type of players that we've got. But international football's like this, isn't it? You know, we've seen it with France, we've seen it with Portugal. The last 2 tournaments have been won
Yeah, 100.
pragmatically, really, if we're being honest, even though they've got loads of players. So look, it's not something I care about too much. I just want the result. I want 3 points. I just want to be in the final on Sunday. That's it. Don't even care how it could. There could be a shot ricochets off 5 people like a pinball machine, ends up in the goal, and we win the game, and I don't care. I don't care. That's it. I just want to be in the final.
Everyone
That's
needs
it.
to get behind the team as well. Not like I
That's it.
keep
I don't.
seeing. Yeah, no, I keep seeing negative things. I don't want to see that. I just everyone's got to get behind the team now. In fact, in 2 90 minutes, we could be crowned like the European champions.
Simple.
Like that's it. There's
Well, not
two
not simple,
90
but
minute games.
that's it. Because it's something
But you
I've
know what
never
I mean,
seen.
though? Like just
Yeah,
get behind them now.
get back. Listen, I've been at that stage for a long time now, and like I said when you asked me about the starting lineup, don't even care. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
I just want to be in the final. He's got it right so far. I've got no right to complain about nothing, and that's the other thing. Any of us as fans, what we complaining about? He's got everything right. We've not even conceded a goal. He's made so many changes as well. We've said he's used the whole squad except one outfield player. So what are we? We got nothing to complain about. You know, he obviously knows what he's
I'm
doing.
happy, man. I can't even lie.
That's it. I'm happy. I'm happy. Even I know what you said about the negativity. When during that game yesterday, I didn't even go on my phone. I just watched the game, and everyone who I was watching it, obviously with all like my football team, like we was all watching it together. Everyone's just behind the team. No one's like talking like rubbish about Southgate. No one's talking rubbish about none of the players. Like just get behind it, man. That's it. Don't matter who's on the pitch. Oh, we might like Grealish or we might like Foden or some people want. Do you know what I mean? It don't even matter. Like it don't matter. We just need to get to the final and do something I never thought I'd see in my lifetime is win a trophy.
Yeah, no, that's it. Because you got to think, none of us. I was saying this to someone yesterday. None of us have ever seen England win a major trophy ever, and I think for me that's the biggest thing because I think it's all well and good watching your team, like your club, win like Premier Leagues, Champions Leagues, and all that, but to see your country win a major tournament,
It's different.
it's crazy, man. It's gonna if that happens,
Listen,
it's gonna be one of the maddest Sundays ever.
listen. I can't lie. I don't even know where I'm watching it yet, but I'll hit the streets, man, because it's the one day it'll feel like New Year's Day. You know when you walk the streets on
Yeah,
New
it
Year's Day,
will,
everyone's
man.
happy and everyone's nice to
Yeah, it
you.
will.
Everyone's saying Happy New Year. All races, religions, cultures. Everyone's cool. That's what that day will be like. If they win the trophy, that's what it'll be like that day. Like everyone will just love
Nothing's
each
getting
other.
done on Monday. Nothing is getting
Oh,
done on that
but everyone
Monday.
knows that.
Nothing.
I think everyone knows that. Everyone knows that, and I don't think no one cares either. No, it's the truth, innit? Like I never thought I'd see it in my lifetime. Honestly, look, we shouldn't. I know we're talking as if it's going to happen, but like, yeah, winning things with your club teams is great, innit? But like, especially if we come from
That
teams
country is the
that
next
like
level.
ours, we come from like the teams we support are serial winners, innit? Or not us anymore, but we used to be in it. But like, so we've seen us win everything, innit? Like literally. But this is different. This is different, man.
Yeah.
This is different. And I
My
honestly
last
never
question.
thought.
Oh, go on, go on.
No, I'm just saying it's something I never thought I'd see in my lifetime.
Yeah, same, man, same. But my last question is, do you think? Because I was thinking this morning. Do you think the crop of like players that we've got now, if they stay at this consistent level of football, because you're talking about like Phil Foden's, obviously Jack Grealish, Jadon Sancho, Saka. There's a lot of young players that, if they keep themselves fit and play at the level they're playing at, can still play international football for 10 years at least. Do you see, if we win this, we can go on to win other major in like World Cups and maybe another Euros as well? If we win this one, that obviously that's thinking forward, but if we win this one.
Yeah, I think so. And you know what's mad? I remember saying to Kieran years ago, I think it might have been after the 2014 World Cup. Like, I was quite confident once, even though I just said that I never thought I'd see us win anything in our lifetime. I was still kind of confident that the teams could do something once that old crop left. So the Rooneys, Gerrard, Lampard, once they finally like
Yeah,
hung up their boots and moved on and left it to the new generation, I thought that's when we could have some sort of hope again. And this current crop, you have to look at the ages of everyone. It's insane. It's insane. Everyone's majority of it's under 25,
Bellingham.
and like under 20. He's under 19. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's mad,
And
isn't it?
like it's we've got a lot of talent coming through, you know, and it's an exciting time. Even if you go back to like 3 years ago, look how different this is from 3 years ago. Like Grealish, Saka, Foden, Mount, Phillips, Rice.
Sure.
That's just in.
Yeah, Phillips Rice.
But
Yeah.
Shaw was kind of around already, but the rest that I just named, they wasn't even on the radar. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah, of course. Of
remember that
course,
World
yeah.
Cup team was like Henderson, Dele Alli, Jesse Lingard. Do you know what I mean? It was a bit different. These are all
When
new
you look back at it
players.
though as well, when you look back on that squad that you just mentioned with like Dele Alli and that, I kind of see why it didn't achieve what it did. Because imagine having this crop of players in that
Then,
time. Do you get what I'm saying?
yeah, definitely. There's
Yeah.
more talent. And one thing you always need at international, well, not just international football, you need it at club level as well. Because I say it all the time, and we've seen it with Liverpool, we see it with United. You need squad depth. You need depth. You need a pool of talent to choose from. That's what we've had this time. That's the difference. Like he's used, as I said, he's used over 20 players. That's a lot, and no one's looked out of place. There hasn't been a drop in standard. Like Foden's played, Jack Grealish has played, Saka's played, Rashford's come on and played, Sancho's now played, Mount has played. Like the standard hasn't dropped. So this is an incredible squad of talent that we've got right now, and there's still people to come through. I remember, people like Trent is injured at the moment. He'll be back in the squad probably for the next
Yeah,
tournament or
it's
once
still,
he's fit
yeah,
again.
of course.
There's like, I know there's
Yeah, of
other people
course.
like Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones hasn't like hit the ground running yet, but there's loads of, you got Skip at Spurs. Like there's players coming through still, so that even when you get to the next tournament now or the one after that, there's loads of boys coming through
They
right now,
should be
man.
coming in.
Yeah. Mason
Yeah, it's true,
Greenwood
man.
as well. Mason
It's
Greenwood got
true,
injured.
man.
Like this guy, like there's a lot of talent.
Yeah, yeah.
So the future should be bright for us. Definitely.
Listen,
And that makes
it
me
is coming
excited.
home. It's coming home,
It
man.
is. We're at
It's
the
coming
door.
home.
We're at the door.
I don't know
We're
what I
back
don't
at
know what
Wembley.
anyone
We're at
else
the
is
door.
thinking.
Listen, we're at the door, bro. We are at the door.
You know
We're
what?
at the door.
I'm not even gonna gas myself, man. I'm
No,
not
we're at
gonna
the
gas
door. I'm not.
myself anymore
All right,
because
do you know what? Actually, we're at the gate. We're at the gate. We're not at the door yet. The door's the final, isn't it? We're not at the
yeah,
door.
we're at the
We're at the
door.
gate.
We're at the door at
We're at the
final.
gate.
Yeah, we're at the gate, man.
No, we're at the gate. We're at the gate. It's
Yeah,
got electric buzzer.
but it's
They can
coming,
see
man.
us. Yeah, we're at the gate. Electric buzzer. They can see us. Yeah, and we're coming to the door next. That's it. Nearly there, man.
Listen, one more hurdle Wednesday, then that's it. And I'm telling you from now, there will be no recording next Sunday.
Yeah, let's tell them from
because
now. Look, basically,
regardless,
yeah, I can't lie. There's either two reasons, or there's two reasons that the episode will come out on Monday and we will record on Monday. It's number one is that we're so
yeah,
euphoric, so on other, maybe on alcohol, maybe not, that it's not going to happen. And number two, be so burnt that I'm not recording. So
yeah,
that's it. It's one or
yeah.
the
You don't
other.
want to see me
If we
burnt and
lose,
recording because it'll be a bit mad.
if we lose, Kieran can do it by himself because we know that's what he's on. Yeah, hey, look,
Yes. Do you know what? That's a good
Mr.
shout, actually.
Scrooge,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mr.
We'll get him in.
Scrooge
We can
can
draft
jump
him in.
on.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
get him
Mr.
in.
Scrooge can do it, man.
He can change
But
that backdrop to Jamaica as well. Get ready for the Gold Cup.
yeah, even though I think we're gonna have to touch on that in another episode because what happened with, I know you've seen what happened with Cuba, which is I think is a disgrace. But obviously, I think we'll touch on that in the future anyway.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, man, definitely. But yeah, man, exciting week. Looking forward to it. Like really looking forward to this now. Nervous, like you said, Jesse. Proper nervous, but listen, everyone who's listening, follow us because next season we're going to be obviously doing things a lot better, bigger as well. But for now, you can follow us on at the PTTW podcast on Instagram and Twitter, PTTW on YouTube as well. So click and subscribe to all of that as well. But yeah, man, no episode next Sunday. I think we'll do a midweek one after the semis
Listen,
Thursday night.
Monday, innit? I think you see. Yeah, we'll see. Oh yeah. Just in case. Yeah, we'll do a little mini one
Yeah,
after the
yeah.
semi. Yeah.
After the
Get our
semis, and
bearings.
then we'll do one. Yeah, we'll do one maybe on Monday, maybe on Monday, but we'll see, man. But listen, this has been episode 47, Play to the Whistle podcast. T Dot and Jesse, man. Thank you very much for listening.
Peace out, man.